Marcialis, the world number 5 in the round of 16. Martini has fenced superbly well today as well. Martini had to come through a very tough battle with his teammate Filippo Macchi in the round of 16. Men's foil semi-final number 2 at the Shanghai Grand Prix is underway. Bronze medal at the Palma de Mallorca World Cup at the start of the season for Tommaso Martini. Handful of 64s for RZADKOWSKI this season. Palma, Fukuoka World Cup during Grand Prix, Istanbul World Cup just a couple of weeks ago. It's been a while since we've seen anything from him. This is by far his best senior result at 29 years old. 2014 Nanjing Youth Olympic Games champion, the POL, and also Junior European Silver back in 2016. Well, it's been a while since we've seen RZADKOWSKI performing at this level individually. Team medals, European Championships in Novi Sad a few years back. Martini, part of this factory conveyor belt of Italian foilists. Just 23 years old, so time in hand, but tough in the Italian ranks just to make the squad for a Grand Prix. Just one previous meeting between these two, but not really much to speak about. One, it was back in 2021, and two, it was a pool match, fight up to 5 at the satellite tournament in Zagreb in October 21. Just for the record, Martini won that one 5-3, but that doesn't really have a bearing on this particular match. So RZADKOWSKI just trying to find the right distance for these longer attacks. The thing is, Martini's slight compact, wide stance on the feet. He changed direction quickly and he closes up the distance. He also stays busy at sort of step lunge distance with the blade. It's very complex to try and work out where to find a way through. So you look at this fight, the early stages of it, just 2 minutes of potentially 9, and there's been quite a lot of containment by Martini. And that serves two purposes. One, it becomes incredibly frustrating for your opponent to find a way through. And two, it gives you the time and the space to look for a moment to go in. Now, Martini makes an appeal for a video review here. I'm not sure this is such a good idea. At first viewing, it looked like he went to look for the blade of RZADKOWSKI, and we're going to see it here, and then start his attack. I think RZADKOWSKI picked the right moment to start his attack. That's what the referee thought originally as well. Amar Khaled, the Egyptian, sticks with this same decision. So that's one appeal down for Martini. That's close. So RZADKOWSKI looked for a parry there, so he's now doing the containment. He looked to block the attack from Martini and hit with a very quick direct riposte. He does it, tries it again. This time Martini's learnt and picks up a counter riposte. RZADKOWSKI got off target with the first one, tries it again here, but there's the counter parry riposte from the left-hand side. So, containment over for RZADKOWSKI. He's now found, at this moment in time, the right distance to go after Martini. Time for Martini to change things up. Will he go out on the attack? This time he doesn't step away from the start of the attack. So look at the distance. It's closed right up already. So they're going to let the last 8 or 9 seconds go in this first period. All square 5 apiece. Another very interesting battle here. Tommaso Martini and Andrzej RZADKOWSKI tied at 5-5. Well, the best we can do here is try and read the fencing sign language. Now, what it appears to me the Italian coach is saying is you've got to be very definitive in your change of lines at the end. It looks like he was feinting to the flank side, the right-hand side, the sword arm side of RZADKOWSKI, and then coming around onto the body side. But he'll also be talking about what distance he needs to be doing that from, and I think for the Italian it needs to be a bit closer. RZADKOWSKI could do things from a bit further away. How quick a minute goes, eh? 60 seconds, like that, in a flash. A couple of sips of water, a little bit of instruction, and off you go. No coach for RZADKOWSKI. He is the only Polish fencer to actually come out to this competition. Not a bad return. Second period of 3 in the men's semi-final at the Shanghai Grand Prix. Tommaso Martini has just re-established the lead with a parry riposte. So he saw that going away and looking for parry riposte was not the right way forward, so now Martini is going in and closing the distance. Easier for the shorter man to hit, just hitting off target on the attack there. again, we've got an interesting situation here where these two fencers fencing very intelligently. Perhaps that's the reason why they've made it this far in the competition. They're adapting every couple of hits to what their opponent's doing, changing distance, changing their approach. This time, SHANGHAI going for the attack off the blade, attack off fair. So SHANGHAI must call for a review here because the referee, there it is, looking at the video. Khalid, closest to us, the Egyptian floor referee, supported on the video by Wang Li from China. And that's a burnt video for SHANGHAI, so they're both down to 1. Now that's being checked. By my reckoning, they both got 1 video appeal left. Speed attack from Martini, so finding the blade, gets the right of way. SHANGHAI tried a turning counter, but that flick onto the chest was enough to get the point for the Italian, and acknowledged by the POL in the end. Beautifully fast hand on the cart parry riposte there from SHANGHAI to level things back up again. Delayed completion of the step back after the parry as well. With that reach advantage, that gave him the space to land that very fast riposte. And now the different riposte, circular ceased, or different parry, circular ceased parry after the cart. Force that one through, and perhaps Martini should have done another step forward to really pin SHANGHAI to the back line. Counter riposte is good. Now we have a 2-point gap for the first time in a while. And that has sparked the Italians in the crowd to start cheering on Martini. It's been relatively quiet so far. Parry riposte, and it is given. So it was 1 action. It went through, even though it was a compound riposte. SHANGHAI was trying to find the right line to finish in. He's opened up a 3-point lead at a critical stage of the match. Target score of 15. Tried something different, understandable from SHANGHAI. The flash attack, thought he could find a way through, but Tommaso Martini has been the battler all day and has spotted those sharp attacks early and able to just open up the distance, find a parry and land a fairly simple riposte. But simple because he created it with sharp footwork. Beat attack fails, parry riposte fails, referee calls halt. Won't be a hit there. So the apology coming from Jankowski, because as he jumped in the air, as he came down, Martini was sort of underneath him. This is what we've seen from Martini all day. When he's found himself behind, he's got the mental fortitude to battle back, dig himself out of a hole. There's been a lot of those in this fight, a lot of counter parry riposte. So when the attacker is blocked, and then he blocks the replying, well, attack riposte from his opponent. It's a sign of how much the sport has developed. So prior to the Olympic Games in Tokyo, remember those? Remember what happened just before them? Delayed for a year. We all stayed at home. So the sport kind of developed in silos, and the most successful silo was the one in Hong Kong when it comes to men's foil. And Chen Carlong came out in Tokyo and was fencing half a step closer than I'd ever seen anyone fence men's foil before. And it just meant everybody else had to kind of catch up with him, because he was almost unbeatable. Well, he was unbeatable at Tokyo 2020 because he won the gold medal. But it forced everyone else to have a little rethink of how they fenced men's foil, and everybody started to get a little bit closer. So you ended up having almost very simple actions being the way forward. Most you really get was a parry riposte, but now they've all got used to it, and they're training more at this closer distance. You're now seeing more of a conversation. It's not just attack parry riposte or attack direct or attack with a disengage hit, and that's it, or one meeting the blades and then the parry riposte is given. Now we're seeing counter parry riposte. The conversation continues and the sport develops further. So second period, they're giving up 15 seconds here. They've had enough, and Jankowski accepts the offer given by Martini. Now they touch the blades in the middle because technically the referee could halt and ask them to move straight into the third period. So if there's a meeting of the blades, it's considered that they are still fencing, even though it's quite clear they weren't. Second period then, and Martini, having fallen 3 behind, leads by a single point. Having to coach himself here, Jankowski. No coach for him. He's the only Pole that's come to Shanghai. Understandably looking a little bit, not tired, but you can tell he's been working out. Too dissimilar for Tommaso Martini. So one video left for each of them, one video appeal. Final 3-minute period of the men's semi-final. Time to find out who is going to meet Kirill Borodyshev in the Shanghai Grand Prix men's foil final. Andrzej Jankowski has just levelled up with Tommaso Marini. Poland versus Italy. Oh, now parry riposte was no from Jankowski. The continuation of the attack, which was an electric remise over the top. Beautiful shot there from Martini. Twice he's done that in this third period in the last 15 seconds. Twice he's levelled the score. Now, at the critical moment, RZADKOWSKI has got himself back into the lead. He's had 2 disengage attacks in this period, and now a riposte. Can he finish the job off? And attack into preparation was actually blocked out, but RZADKOWSKI has done a number here in the last period. There were just 25 seconds of it, but he's turned the match around completely. And the POL is through for the Shanghai Grand Prix final. RZADKOWSKI of Poland will face Kirill Borodyshev, the neutral athlete, for the last Grand Prix title of the 2025-2026 season. And the sharpest of hands on the remise was the way through to that gold medal match. The 29-year-old continues the finest day of his senior career here in China. Confirmation then that RZADKOWSKI of Poland has beaten Martini of Italy by 15 points to 13, and he will go on to fence for gold here at the Shanghai Grand Prix, where he'll face Kirill Borodyshev, the neutral athlete. We'll take a look back over the semi-finals. It's a grand entrance for the athletes, arriving at the venue by car, directly into the venue. First we saw Carlos Lavador up against Kirill Borodyshev, Borodyshev making it through. Then a very intriguing battle between RZADKOWSKI of Poland and Tommaso Martini of Italy. The Italian led a couple of times, the POL levelled up a few times, but the POL took the lead in the end and landed a remise to get him over the line.